Hey everyone, this article I'm going to be referencing from the CBC is something that I've actually covered in a couple other past videos because I recognized early on the social media pages and platforms that, yeah, there were people that come up with lots of innovative and creative ways to make their pages or their platforms or their channels seem much more popular than they were. I'm sure you've heard of these click farms where they just have walls or banks of cell phones or devices that they use as bots, but that's the thing, they're actual real accounts, but they're just set to automatically, like, subscribe, or comment on particular social media pages to give the pretense or the premise that that page or platform or channel is much more popular than it actually is. So you can buy popularity. Actually, that's something even in the real world. You could always buy your popularity even in the real world, right? Didn't mean you were truly popular, because the minute you stopped hitting at the cash, well, you'd find out real quick who your true friends were. So yeah, you can buy popularity online if you want. Once again, if it's not natural, if it's not grassroots, if it's not real, how long are you going to keep that illusion going? Headline out of CBC News under the Technology and Science section: from star ratings to video views, beware fake internet stats. Fake users such as bots interact with ads, videos, and products to manipulate the popularity and online ratings. Ramona Pringle, January 14th, 2019. Most of us know by now that we can't trust everything we see online, but just how much of the internet is fake? It's more than you might expect. Fabricated content stretches far beyond just fake news, viral hoaxes, and manipulated images, as experts caution that much of the web's traffic is manipulated too. From app downloads and YouTube views to ad engagement, Yelp reviews, and Amazon ratings. Indeed, it appears that even the population of the internet itself and the activity it generates can't be taken at face value. So while people are right to be wary of what they see online, half of those people are probably bots anyway. In other words, fake users watching fake content, and considering the questionable nature by which views are often tallied, perhaps the view counts themselves are fake too. According to Frank Pasquale, a law professor at the University of Maryland and author of The Black Box Society, The Secret Algorithms Behind Money and Information, this kind of manipulated web activity is extremely prevalent. To a certain extent, he says, all the metrics are fake. If that seems surreal, it should. Metrics are the engine of the internet, after all. Quantified information such as video views, product ratings, and ad impressions inform what we do as individuals, as well as how marketing dollars are spent. As markers of what we value, what we find interesting or entertaining, and how long we spend engaged, if those metrics can't be trusted, it can distort everything we understand about the online world. Like Alice in Wonderland, with her giant teacups and tiny doors, size is suddenly an arbitrary factor and ultimately useless. How has this come to be? As it is, advertisers pay for impressions. This is a lucrative business for online platforms and those involved in selling ad space, considering that pretty much everything on the internet that users don't pay for is powered by ad sales. And those ad sales are driven by metrics. Given how pervasive online advertising is, you'd assume there would be a demand for more certainty with regards to how metrics are generated. But there is very little transparency about who is engaging with ads and if they're even human. Meanwhile, as consumers, we use metrics to inform our decisions. Whether it is Yelp, Amazon, or Facebook, we look at ratings and reviews to help us make our decisions about things like where to eat or what to buy. And when users are looking for a tutorial on YouTube, they're likely to infer that the ones with more views are more popular and thus superior. But this can be dangerous. Pascal warns, because when something seems popular, it also seems trustworthy. In this way, the same mechanisms being used to sell us products are also being used to sell ideologies. It's not just agencies buying ads, Pasquale said. It's also groups that are buying themselves to the top of search results so that viewers think their extremist messaging is a really popular or widely held view. For the most part, we're blind to the mechanisms of how we come to see what we see online, or more generally, how things come to be popular, prevalent, or appealing. Someone can bid 2 pennies more than someone else to be at the top of the search terms, said Pascal. That can result in fringe groups buying the optics of legitimacy through a combination of fake views and purchased prominence. Anyways, like I said, that is something that has always been done even in the real world, the tangible world, not online. People have always found ways to manipulate others. And yes, I agree. The onus is on you as the end consumer to take that time. If you want to be properly educated, informed, is to take that time and don't go by, you know, metrics as far as popularity. Like I say, as far as I'm concerned, you got to worry about the ideas, the concepts. What are they coming from? And then, like I say, verify. Use alternative sources, right? That's the thing. You can kind of try to trust. You know, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit trusting, have a trusting nature, but at least verify, especially if it's something that is pertaining to social and economic issues in regards to governance of large masses of people or populations. Those are the things. I mean, as far as, you know, if someone likes a particular brand or whatever and they want to put a whole lot of bots, say, I mean, that's, once again, the onus, it always comes down to personal responsibility and accountability. That freedom, that's the thing. The freedom is, the internet allows for a tremendous amount of freedom, but with all that freedom requires personal, individual responsibility. And I guess individual responsibility scares the shit out of the people. Everyone always looks, can the government tell me what's right and wrong for me? No, that job is yours. Because the minute you ask for government to do it for you, you're also asking them to do it for me. And I can take care of shit myself. Just because you can't, don't try to force or thrust your ineptness or your laziness upon me. Indeed, when it comes to fake news in recent years, as much as half of YouTube traffic has been found to be bots. According to a report by bot detection firm White Ops into a Russian operation called MethBot, this masquerade can be quite sophisticated, as bots charade as humans moving a mouse around the screen, faking clicks, and logging into fake social network accounts. I mean, come on. Let's just, okay, with the Russian thing, come on. I mean, if Russia can do this, don't we constantly talk about how we're so much more advanced in our technology than the East, like the Russians? Well, don't you think if the Russians can do that, are you saying that no one in Canada, the U.S., or none of these modern Western democracies, there's nobody doing that, right? It's only, ooh, the scary Russians, right? Or, ooh, the scary Chinese, or, like, come on, like, just be reasonable. These media personalities, because they come from, you know, Canada, they're like, oh, we're good, everyone else is bad. Or our opponents, the people that say things that are in opposition to what we want to say, they're the bad people. Like I say, that's political rhetoric already. Because just because the Russians can do it, right, if they figured out a way to create bots, well, you might want to understand the fact that the people that create all these technologies, which are people from North America or Western countries, yeah, they figure that out too, right? Right? Inside what have become to be referred as click farms, rows and rows of unmanned smartphones play the same videos and download the same apps, all to bolster apparent interest. So while it's not like someone is hacking YouTube's code to manually inflate video views, the view counts we see are no more representative of, well, what we consider real views by real people. These digital simulacra are the product of more than a decade of metrics-driven growth in which there's been little regulatory oversight and profit to be gained from inflated numbers. On one level, there is a winking alliance between the people at the platforms and the people in ad tech, said Pasquale, who explains there are many related entities profiting off of too good to be true metrics, none of which are too keen to break the lucrative myth. But according to some experts, the desire by bad actors to game the system through bots and other tactics will ultimately backfire. Then it goes into restoring trust, which is what I would say. Yeah, I mean, you can manipulate people as much as you want, but at some point in time, people are going to come to realize that they're just being manipulated by a bunch of ads or bots or fake accounts. People will come at some point in time around and realize that no, they want to stand in solidarity and support of people that are actually genuine or truthful and real, right? I said I'm going to do things. I've never monetized any of my video, which tells me that I probably cost myself a whole lot of money. Well, maybe not a whole lot. I'm still not that popular out there, as you can see. And I guess that's a natural reflection of the fact that I never paid for any of this stuff. My growth is snail's pace. But you know what? The people that actually do follow me, or my pages, or my channel, these are real people. So I'm very grateful for the fact that I didn't delve into the short-term game. I took that long, hard route, that long, hard road. And it's paying off. It's showing me that the dividends are being rightfully rewarded to me for doing the hard work, putting in the real effort, not paying to appear to be popular, but just saying the right things, just speaking from an honest position, being objective, and being moral in my stance. Like I say, it's been a natural and snail's pace type of growth for me, but the people that I surround myself, or the people that follow me, are the best kind of people that I could ever expect or hope for the most part. There are some exceptions, but like I say, You got to start thinking long term, folks. You can pay for your popularity if you want, but at the end of the day, if you paid and you said, "Oh, look at that. I got 1,000 friends." What if someone invites you to a party and they say, "Hey, bring that 1,000 friends with you"? Well, when you show up at the party, it's you all by yourself, and you have to make excuses as to why no one else showed up with you. Yeah, that's going to do a lot to destroy your credibility at that point, isn't it? I think so. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.